Howdy, hello, and welcome to our podcast episode number 97. Mercenary takes over inner city school to battle drug ring and gangs. I am Thomas, and I am here with my friend Timothy. Today, we are going to discuss a film called The Substitute. Settle in, grab your popcorn, dear viewer, for our captivating discussion.
The Substitute is a 1996 American action thriller film directed by Robert Mandel about Jonathan Shale, a mercenary who goes undercover as a teacher at Columbus High School to investigate the attack on his girlfriend and uncovers a drug ring led by the school's gang leader, Tom Am. So, did you enjoy The Substitute?
Well, Timothy, old chap, I found The Substitute to be quite the thrilling ride. Tom Berenger does an excellent job of portraying the troubled veteran turned reluctant hero who's forced to return to his old ways to protect the ones he loves. While the plot itself isn't particularly original, it does a good job of combining elements from films like Die Hard and Stand and Deliver. The action sequences are well executed, and the fight scenes are gritty and realistic. But where the movie truly shines is in its exploration of themes such as redemption, second chances, and the corruption within our educational system. However, I must admit that some parts felt a bit predictable, especially towards the end when the truth about Principal Role's involvement in the drug ring was revealed. And while Ernie Hudson does give a decent performance as Shale's partner in crime, his character often feels underutilized and could have been developed further.
Well, now, Tom, I must say that I found The Substitute to be an enjoyable watch. While the plot may not be entirely original, it does manage to keep you engaged throughout its runtime. Tom Berenger's portrayal of Jonathan Shale was spot on, transitioning seamlessly from a tormented war veteran to a stern yet caring teacher. However, I must agree with Tom that some elements of the plot were predictable, especially the twists regarding Principal Role's involvement in the drug ring. Additionally, the romantic subplot between Shale and his girlfriend Jane Hetzko, played by substance abuse counselor Susan Ray, felt somewhat forced and unnecessary. Furthermore, I found some of the dialogue to be a bit cliché at times, especially in the scenes where characters are trying too hard to deliver intense monologues about their pasts or motivations. But overall, The Substitute was an entertaining action thriller that managed to tackle relevant issues such as gang violence and drug trafficking within the education system. Tom, what do you think about the acting performances in this film? Specifically, how did you rate Tom Berenger's portrayal of Jonathan Shale?
Well, Timothy, Tom Berenger delivers a solid performance as Jonathan Shale, transitioning believably from a battle-hardened veteran to an empathetic teacher. He brings a certain level of grit and intensity to the role that fits well with the film's action thriller genre. Ernie Hudson, playing his partner in crime, also provides a decent performance, although, as I mentioned earlier, his character could have been developed further. The supporting cast members, such as William Forsythe as Janice and Raymond Cruz as Johnny Glades, both contribute to the film's authenticity with their grizzled performances. However, some of the less prominent roles, especially those belonging to the students, are often stereotypical and lack depth. Overall, while the acting isn't groundbreaking, it does a good job of carrying the plot forward. Now let's move on to the film's technical aspects. I found the cinematography by Peter G. Menzies Jr. to be well done, capturing the grimy yet gritty atmosphere of inner-city Miami schools perfectly. The action sequences are visually engaging and enhance the movie's thrilling pace. The score, by Alan Silvestri, adds another layer of intensity to the film, elevating the tension during suspenseful moments and ramping up the adrenaline during the action scene. However, some viewers might find the use of generic rock and rap songs a bit too cliché at times, especially in the training montages. In conclusion, while The Substitute isn't a masterpiece of cinema, It does deliver on its promise of action-packed thrills and suspenseful twists. It tackles relevant issues such as gang violence, drug trafficking, and corruption within the education system. While some plot points may feel predictable, the film's strong performances, gripping storyline, and solid technical aspects make it an enjoyable watch for fans of the genre. Timothy, would you say that The Substitute is a film you'd recommend to your friends who are looking for a good action flick?
Well, Tom, The Substitute was actually filmed at Miami Senior High School, which added an extra layer of authenticity to the film's grim portrayal of inner-city education. This decision by the production team also had some unforeseen consequences, however. During filming, the school experienced disruptions due to the large number of crew members and equipment being moved around, which understandably frustrated students and staff alike. Additionally, some parents complained about the explicit language and violent content portrayed in the movie, leading to a temporary rating restriction for students under 17 years old. Despite these challenges, the filmmakers managed to capture the essence of urban decay and gang violence that plagues many real-life schools like Miami Senior High School at the time. As for your question about recommending The Substitute to friends who are looking for a good action flick, I would say it's a decent choice if they enjoy films with a gritty, realistic style. However, I would caution them not to expect a deeply nuanced exploration of complex issues such as peace and its effects on veterans returning home from war, or the root causes of gang violence in inner-city communities. Instead, viewers should approach The Substitute as an entertaining action thriller that delivers on its promise of non-stop action, suspenseful twist, and some compelling performances by a talented cast.
Well, as for the special effects, they were a product of their time. Released in 1996, The Substitute predates modern CG-heavy action films by several years, so it's understandable that some of the more elaborate explosions and stunts may not hold up to today's standard. However, what they did have was practical effects done well. The gunfights and car chases were shot with skill, and the stunt doubles used in dangerous scenes did a commendable job of selling the action. In terms of CG, there is minimal use of it. Most of the effects are achieved through practical means such as explosions, pyrotechnics, and real stunts performed by skilled professionals. This approach gives the film a more grounded feel compared to contemporary blockbusters that rely heavily on CG to enhance their action sequences. Now let's move on to the filming itself. The Substitute was shot in the grimy, gritty style typical of the 90s action genre. Director Robert Mandel utilized tight close-ups and shaky camera movements to create a sense of chaos and disorientation, further immersing the viewer into the world of inner-city Miami's gang wars. The use of natural lighting and shadow contrasts effectively portrays the harsh reality of life in these neighborhoods where danger lurks around every corner. The film also benefits from its practical locations, such as actual schools and streets, which adds a layer of authenticity that would be difficult to replicate in a controlled studio environment. Despite some dated elements, The Substitute's strong performances, gripping storyline, and solid technical aspects make it an enjoyable watch for fans of the genre. Although not a masterpiece by any means, it delivers on its promise of action, packed thrills, and suspenseful twists. Timothy, do you think that the film's depiction of gang violence and drug trafficking is realistic? And how accurate are they in portraying the roles of different characters such as teachers, principals, and law enforcement officials?
Well, I would say that the film's depiction of gang violence and drug trafficking is somewhat realistic, considering the time it was released in. However, it does glorify certain aspects of this lifestyle by portraying the gang members as cool and fearless badasses who can outsmart and outgun the police and other law enforcement officials. The role of teachers, principals, and law enforcement officials is also exaggerated for entertainment purposes. Principal role, played by the late great actor William Forsythe, is portrayed as a corrupt figurehead who is more concerned with his own financial gain than the well-being of his students and staff. The portrayal of teachers like Sherman and Shale as heroic figures who risk their lives to protect the innocent is also quite idealistic. In real-life educators face immense challenges in underfunded, high-risk environment. And it's commendable that the film highlights their courage and dedication, even if it does so with a hint of Hollywood dramatization. As for the performances themselves, Tom Berenger and Ernie Hudson deliver compelling portrayals of their respective characters. Berenger brings a sense of weariness and battle-hardened toughness to his role as Jonathan Shale, a former mercenary trying to settle down into a quiet life as a substitute teacher. Hudson, on the other hand, channels his inner-city streetwise charm as Juan Laca, the charismatic but ruthless gang leader who rules Columbus High School with an iron fist. Their chemistry in scenes where they clash head-to-head is palpable and adds a layer of believability to their rivalry. Other notable performances include Raymond Cruz, who plays Johnny Glades, a Native American crime boss with a penchant for violence, and Mark Anthony, who portrays a troubled student named Frankie Diaz, who finds redemption through his friendship with Shale. In conclusion, while The Substitute may not be the most grounded or realistic depiction of urban gang life, it does provide an entertaining action thriller experience that viewers can enjoy for its thrills and suspenseful twists, its exploration of themes such as redemption and the unlikely bond formed between a troubled teenager and a former mercenary turned substitute teacher offers some food for thought and cultural significance in examining the role of education in transforming lives caught up in cycles of violence and poverty.
Well, Timothy, I think we can agree that while The Substitute may not be a masterpiece of realism or grounded portrayal of urban gang life, it does serve as an entertaining action thriller that provides some thought-provoking themes and cultural significance. One aspect of the film that I find particularly interesting is its exploration of the role of education in transforming lives caught up in cycles of violence and poverty. The relationship between Shale and Frankie Diaz, a troubled teenager who finds redemption through their unlikely friendship, highlights the potential for positive change when individuals from different backgrounds come together. In addition to this, the film also addresses issues such as corruption within educational institutions and the role of law enforcement in protecting students and teachers alike. The portrayal of Principal Role as a corrupt figurehead who prioritizes his own financial gain over the well-being of his students and staff is a stark reminder of the real world, challenges faced by educators working in underfunded, high-risk environments. Moreover, the film's depiction of the role of the substitute teacher as a heroic figure who risks their life to protect innocent students resonates with the cultural significance of education as a means of empowerment and social mobility. The idea that someone from Shale's background could choose to become a teacher, risking his own safety in order to make a difference in these young lives, speaks volumes about the transformative power of education and the role that dedicated individuals can play in shaping the futures of the next generation. In conclusion, while The Substitute may be criticized for its exaggerated portrayal of gang violence and drug trafficking, it does offer some thought-provoking themes and cultural significance that resonate with audiences today. Its exploration of education's role in transforming lives caught up in cycles of violence and poverty is particularly relevant given the ongoing challenges faced by educators and students alike in underserved communities worldwide.
Well, Thomas, while I can appreciate your enthusiasm for the film's depiction of education as a catalyst for change, I must admit that I found some aspects of The Substitute to be a bit far-fetched. I mean, a former mercenary turned government-affiliated substitute teacher infiltrating a high school to take down a powerful gang leader. It's just a bit too far-fetched for my taste, don't get me wrong. The action sequences were well choreographed and the performances by Berenger and Hudson were solid. But I think the film would have been more grounded if it had focused less on the explosions and more on the day-to-day challenges faced by teachers like ourselves who truly dedicate their lives to transforming the lives of our students. In conclusion, while The Substitute might not be the most realistic depiction of urban gang life or education's role in combating violence, it does offer some entertainment value and food for thought. If you enjoy action thrillers with a sprinkle of cultural significance and themes of redemption, then this film might be worth a watch. And don't forget to leave us your thoughts in the comments section below. Subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends. Thank you for joining us today for our discussion on The Substitute.